world, honestly, at this point, is going on with Kevin Durant?
All right, so I've got an opinion on that. Real quick, if I may, I want to ask Cris Carter a question. Cris Carter?
Yes.
You are one of 4 boys, all great athletes, 2 professional athletes. Your brother, your oldest brother, Butch, and
Yes.
you. Once you became pros, how often your mother is giving quotes about rivalries either Butch had in the NBA or you had in the NFL? I'm just curious. How often did we see your wonderful mother quoted?
Well, we actually had a unique time because when Butch finished his NBA career, my career in the NFL, so my mom went through 23 straight years of professional sports limelight, and then my brother Butch played for Bobby Knight, so that was 4 years. On top of that, that's 27. Then I did the 3-year stint at Ohio State, so that's 30 straight years that she went through sports scrutiny. Yes.
And in that time?
0.
Okay.
Okay.
You know when my mom was tough? When we were in like middle school and before we got to high school. My boys are the best boys out there. Man, my boy's gonna make a difference. And then after we start making a mark, she was like, listen, you gotta go do your thing. Mama's gonna be mama. Yes.
So listen, Ms. Durant, who seems to be an absolutely lovely woman.
She really is.
And a great mother, and as we all know, the real MVP. If I were KD, I don't know that I'd love seeing that, wait, I'm quoted in this, and as is my wonderful, adoring mother. But let's focus on the KD part of it for a moment. Man, we just played a clip with no sound where we had to blur your mouth because you went nose to nose with Russell Westbrook and said you're a wuss, but you didn't say wuss. And then you have the audacity to come out after the game and say, you media folks are making this into something that's not. You didn't go nose to nose with Paul George.
You did this.
You didn't go nose to nose with Andre Roberson.
Paul George is available too.
Right, you didn't go nose to nose with Melo. Guess who puts his hand in your chest? Steven Adams. And guess what? You still eyeing Russ the entire time. Stop acting like this isn't something that means something to you. And stop. I would like to tell you to just be honest about your feelings on this, but my concern with Durant right now is I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he knows how he feels, if he made the right decision, if he made the wrong decision. Is Russ was his best friend? Did he never like him? Durant seems like a man without a country right now as far as how he actually feels about everything related to Oklahoma City. Luckily for him, he can feel one way, then another one of his Twitter accounts can feel another way, another one of his Twitter accounts can feel another way, and he can have all the bases covered.
I don't understand why it's even an option that he would think he made a mistake. He went to a new place, he won, MVP, got a championship. Like, what's left? Like, what did he leave there that he's missing so much that he can't quite get himself to a place where he's happy, comfortable, just able to go out and play basketball?
Yeah, Nick, I'll maybe ask you this. Like, we talk a lot about my previous jobs and other places. I talk about NFL, broadcasting, HBO, the other place I used to work before coming here. Do I ever seem resentful? Like, you can be honest about where I was and the decision to come here.
No. No. I mean, to be totally honest, since you said I can be honest, I think you speak of the time at HBO like almost like I would have kind of the way you talk about high school basketball. Like, you were learning, it was exciting,
Bob
it was
Costas,
new.
Oh, man, Peter King,
right,
Chris Collinsworth, Dan Marino.
Right.
Yes.
And when you talk about your job most recent to here, it was a job that you clearly made a few really good friendships with, and that you take a lot of pride in the fact that that's where you felt, to me, from an outside, that you kind of mastered your craft, that you really figured out exactly how to hit all the right gears.
But also, I chose to leave.
Right.
What sense does it make to be sitting around and complaining when you decided to go somewhere else? So you're sitting around acting like, well, OKC, they didn't trade you. It wasn't like Russ went to ownership, went to their great general manager, like, you know something? Hey, let's get rid of the cupcake guy. All right? Let's ship him on somewhere else. Russ has been trying to keep all the players. He didn't tell Harden to leave. Harden had to leave. He didn't tell KD to leave. He left on his own and didn't tell Russ.
And Cece, you meant, like, Katie says the media makes it about me and Russ. Not that. And did the media design your shoes with the cupcakes on them, which is a direct shot at Russ? Did that happen?
Right.
Did the media do that?
What did the media, did you lose Russ's phone number? From the time you said all those things about him in the MVP speech to the time that you know you're getting ready to sign with Golden State, how long would it have taken, and I believe would have changed the arc of this relationship, if you had called the man and acted like a man and said, you know something, I'm going to decide to go play in Golden State. I appreciate everything we've accomplished together. Just as simple as that. Now, we can both be upset, but there's a respect level that's going to transfer with you taking the courtesy to call me on the phone. So I don't think they'll ever have that type of respect because KD has tried to portray it as being something else that it's not.
Kyrie Irving left Cleveland, right? And we all thought there was going to be a big thing, and there was some, like, riff in the friendship between he and LeBron James. We don't know what it was. They came back. They played each other. It was okay. It was a great game, and then
And at the end of the game, LeBron hugged him.
And that was it. And that's what it's supposed to be like. That's what adulthood is.
Well, there's a couple things. This thing could get better if Russ took the road LeBron took, which is the total high road. Listen, Russ has been a big part of this.
Kevin Durant's
no, but Russ, listen.
Yeah, Russ
has been a big part of this.
Russ will throw a log on the fire,
right,
and have it keep brewing.
But he's not the instigator. And this didn't. I don't know if people noticed this. And I tried to pull the video, but it's really hard to find unless it's really best video from like a fan Twitter video. At the end of the game, Russ had 34 points, 10 rebounds. He had 9 assists. They were up by $1 billion. He was hunting for that final assist to get the triple-double. And on one play, he passes Steven Adams, and Steven Adams could have shot. Steven Adams passes as well, so Russ can't get the assist. And Russ says, Steven, shoot it. KD and Steph are on the bench, pointing, laughing, mocking. That was right before the game ended, probably 20 minutes. He's pointing, laughing, mocking for the whole world to see at Russ, right after he went nose-to-nose with him and called him what he called him. To then go to the media and say, no, it's nothing. We're just competitive. You weren't pointing, laughing at anyone else on the team. You weren't doing any of that. So just own it, man. Just own it. And he couldn't own the decision, which is why he never called Russ.
Right.
He never dealt with that. Man, as adults, sometimes you got to have an uncomfortable conversation.
And it's okay that we don't like each other. Everyone's not going to be friends. It's not. That is the real world. Like, and that, both of them, I believe, can live with.
But you still have to coexist. And they have to coexist in the NBA to the point where every time they play, it's not some ridiculous, asinine, stupid little something or other that we're talking about.
I believe a little chippiness is good for sports, Jenna.
Remember this.
I believe it, yes.
This year, we get captains at the All-Star.
This is not the nursery school.
Well, right now, my only frame of reference is the nursery school. So.
Jenna, but we get captains at the All-Star game this year. Please let it be LeBron and Russ and have the final two guys like, I'm not picking KD, I'm not picking Kyrie. Well, I'm not picking KD, I'm not picking Kyrie. Those two last guys standing. I'm rooting. Please let it be that.
Right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.